Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about what your boss thinks of you. And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video, but if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to buy a personal reading. I always love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure, so check that out. But let's focus on this reading right now. Pick your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose the Grunge Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What does group number 1's boss think of them? What does group number 1's boss think of group number 1? What does their boss think of them? 1. I am sensing something about you being an amazing teacher, that you're so good at teaching. I don't know if your job requires that you teach people or that maybe you are a teacher, but I don't know if that resonates with all of you, but I'm sensing that resonates with many of you, that you do have an occupation where you teach people something. But for those of you where that doesn't resonate, I think your boss just sees you as someone who's very good at helping your colleagues with like teaching them stuff that they don't know how to do. Maybe it's small things like I don't know, but I just feel like your boss sees you as an amazing teacher, that you're very good at bringing the best out in people, like finding out people's strengths and weaknesses and getting the strengths out, and make it pop, make them come to life, and then make the weaknesses, the soft spots, make them kind of disappear, or like I feel like I don't know, there's just something you're very good at when it comes to maybe also making it so that the weaknesses become strengths, like somehow turning the bad into something good, finding the thing that people are insecure about and somehow turning it around and making them proud of it. And I think people are like not just your boss, but the people you work with, I think they really admire you for this. Like they see you as a leader, someone who can see the beauty in everyone, and someone who can find out like what makes people assets, and really bringing that out in them. And I don't know, but I feel like the people that you work with, they really like you. They see you as a gem. They see you as very precious to them. And yeah. And I think your boss can see what a great effect you have on not just your colleagues, but also your students if you're a teacher, but also your clients if you work at something else. Yeah. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about what your teacher thinks of you. Group number 1. With the 8 of Cups, I feel like you're... Sorry, did I say teacher or did I say boss? Because I don't know why I would say teacher, but your boss, sorry, that just slipped out, I guess. I'm very confused here because somehow I feel like your boss is also a teacher. So maybe you're a teacher and your boss is a teacher and you're all teachers. Or maybe there's something else here. I'm just sensing that, like I'm just getting a bit confused here. That somehow I'm sensing that some of you may actually be asking about your teacher, who is kind of like a boss to you, or something like that. And so you have chosen to watch this video even though it's not actually your boss, but it's close enough or something like that. But I don't know if that resonates with all of you, but I'm just getting a weird sense that could be the case for some of you. But let's leave that aside and focus on the cards. So I feel like with the 8 of Cups, I feel like your boss is a bit afraid that you're gonna leave and do something else, like that you're maybe gonna realize that you're getting underpaid, or that there are better opportunities out there, and that you're just gonna leave when a better opportunity comes along. And I think your boss is a bit afraid that they can't keep you at your current workplace, that it's hard to keep you there because also like your boss seems to also know that you're very good at what you do. And so maybe your job right now is not living up to your fullest potential. Like you could do something better. And so I think your boss kind of has mixed feelings. Like I think your boss wants you to do something great and live up to your fullest potential. But your boss also wants you to stay and be a part of the workplace. And I think your boss also doesn't want to find a replacement. And so it's also practicality, where maybe your boss is a bit lazy. And so to think about having to like do the work to find a replacement, to have to have all that burden, like that it's a burden to interview other candidates, and like that's just too much work. And so I think your boss really wants you to stay, because that would mean that he wouldn't have to do more work to find a replacement. So but your boss also just really likes having you around, of course, and sees you as a very valuable worker. So there's also that. So with the Magician, I think your boss really sees you as someone who can turn anything to gold, someone who has the ability to do anything without much effort, that somehow whatever you do, you always excel at it, that there's no task that's too big for you. Like I think your boss really sees you as kind of a miracle worker, kind of a magician, someone who just can somehow just manage to do anything, even if you like. I think your boss sees you as someone who's just naturally gifted, like you don't have to practice, you don't have to learn a task before you can do it. Like you can actually do it in first try, and that's rare. That's very precious. And so I think your boss really likes that about you, that you can do anything, you can excel at anything. It's and you make everything look easy. I feel like that's something. I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a bit more information on what your boss thinks of you. Samaritan. So I think your boss sees you as someone who's also very, like, you're just someone who's a very good colleague. You're very good towards the others in the group or in the team. Like you're very good at helping others. And that you're very polite as well. Even towards people that you don't really like. And I think somehow your boss knows this. Maybe you've talked about it before, that you might not really like someone at the office or at your workplace, and maybe you told told your teacher that, or sorry, teacher, I keep saying teacher, sorry, told your boss that. This is so confusing to me. I don't know why I keep mixing this up. Like, but yeah, your boss. Yeah, I think your boss. You might have told your boss at like some kind of party or something Christmas. Like a Christmas party or something, you might have told him that you didn't him or her, I don't know the gender of your boss, but you might have told this person that you didn't like someone at the office, that you kind of found that person quite annoying or quite arrogant or something like that. And I think your boss really noticed that or listened very closely when you said that. And then afterwards, I think your boss has noticed how you interact with that person. And I think your boss has realized that you're very good at faking it. You're very good at being polite towards the people that you actually don't like. And I think that might have also made your boss kind of worried that maybe you're being fake towards them, and maybe they should be careful that maybe I think your boss might think you're saying the same thing to other people about them, like that you don't like them, and then you go to them and tell them something very nice, and I think your boss is just a bit worried that you're faking the interaction you have with him or her, that maybe it's all, I feel like maybe you're I feel like maybe your boss kind of feels like they like you a bit more than you like them, and that this is a bit awkward, or like, I don't think it's necessarily in a romantic way. I think it's, for most of you, I think it's friendly, but I think your boss sees you two as friends, and I think your boss is a bit afraid that you might not see it that way, that you actually see it as a very neutral, professional relationship, or friendship, like, or not a friendship at all, but just a work relationship where it's just professional. And I think your boss is a bit a bit afraid that maybe they have been a bit cringy towards you, trying to be like young with, like, maybe I don't know if your boss is a bit is like, I don't know if there's like a big age gap or something, and so maybe your boss feels like maybe it's a bit embarrassing if they start engaging with the younger the younger colleagues, like, that it makes, I don't know, like that is a bit awkward or weird, or I don't know, or that you find it weird. Okay, so with the Thief card reversed, I think your boss thinks of you as someone who's the opposite of a thief, that you're very, very honest. You're maybe a bit too honest sometimes, where maybe you could get away with some stuff, but you choose not to. Like, you choose to come clean, and you choose to tell the truth. Like, and you might also have this, like, maybe there has been some incidents where you have maybe called out your boss on some strange behavior at the office from maybe your colleagues, and not, I don't think you were necessarily ratting anybody out, but I think you might have said something as a concern, like that you were concerned about some misbehavior, something a bit illegal going on, and so I think your boss sees you as someone who's very fair and just, that that you like to, well, that you like to go to work and not be tangled into something criminal, and I think that's also quite well. That's good. Most people don't like that, so it's like being criminal. So that yeah, but yeah, there might have been something, and maybe there might have also been something about taxes where you pointed it out, and your boss was maybe trying to kind of ignore it or forget about it, or not know about it, so that it's not a crime because he didn't know, or like some, I don't know, he or she, again, I don't know the gender, but I don't know, but with the melancholy reversed, I think your boss sees you as someone who's the opposite of melancholic, so that's good. Someone who's very cheerful, someone who goes to work every day and actually lightens up the room instead of bringing it down. Like I think you have a very positive attitude, very optimistic, and I think your boss really likes that about you, that you seem very, like, you seem like everything, like you might say something to your boss, like whenever there's something going on, something a bit heavy going on, you might say to your boss that everything's gonna be okay, like that he or she shouldn't worry about all this stuff because everything's gonna work out in the end. Like, and I think your boss really likes that. Your boss is very fond of the reassurance that you give them. That they feel very good after talking to you. Like they feel like they have like renewed energy, and that they can actually go about their business with a whole new mindset. And I think that's very valuable to your boss. So yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Omegaland Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you, and I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What does their boss think of them? What does group number 2's boss think of group number 2? Group number 2. Group number 2. Okay, so I'm sensing that your boss sees you as a bit anxious, and that it's, or not just a bit, but I think your boss sees you as very anxious, and that it's affecting your performance at work. And I think your boss sees it as a big shame. Like it's a shame that you feel that way, that you're not comfortable at work. And I think your boss sees that you're very talented and very skillful and gifted at what you do, but because of this mental barrier, you're not really living up to your fullest potential. And I think your boss really, like, it's with a heavy heart. I feel like when I'm saying all this, I'm really sensing how your boss is actually really, really sad about this. Like, it's something that they don't like pointing out. So, like, and I think they wouldn't point it out to you if you were like, I think they would word it in a different way. Like they would say something like that you have to get out of your shell more or something like that. But I feel like your boss actually would consider this anxiety that you have as a bit crippling, and that they don't really know what to do about it, how to make you comfortable at work, how to make you thrive in your workplace, how you like. There's also something about your boss feeling like it's hard to get you to team up with other people, like that you like to work alone, and that you prefer to work alone. And I think your boss really would rather want you to work in teams like everybody else or something like that. And I don't know if everybody else are all in teams, but I just feel like your boss sees it as a missed opportunity, like that you're shooting yourself in the foot by choosing to work alone instead of working in teams, because that is somehow it seems like, I think your boss sees it as a waste of activity, that working in teams are more efficient from the workplace's perspective, like from his perspective, his or her perspective as a boss to you. I think they just feel like valuable time is getting wasted because you refuse to work with others. But I think in your mind, I think you see it differently. I think you see it as way more efficient to work alone, because then you actually get the work done in the right way, and then you don't have to keep retouching it over and over again, because people in your workplace might be a bit more like flawed in their way of working. So I think you see it as more efficient to work alone. And from an objective point of view, that's maybe true, but your boss isn't necessarily objective in their point of view. So I think they just see it as you not playing nice with the others, and that you should do that, and that that in most cases that would be more efficient, but I don't think I don't think your boss looks at this particular situation and addresses this particular problem that you have with your colleagues. Like this, I don't think your boss really realizes what the issue is, and I think it's maybe because they haven't put in the effort to actually get to understand the problem. And I feel like if your boss actually sat down and actually looked at your case and why you don't want to work with your colleagues, then I think your boss would actually understand where you're coming from. But it's just, I just feel like your boss doesn't really know what you're dealing with. So and I also feel like the anxiety thing, I think your boss is really blowing this out of proportions. I think there's really two sides to this story, and I think from your boss's perspective, like of course there's two sides of every story, but like there is two sides to this one, and that's very obvious that your boss sees your anxiety as the crippling factor, because that's kind of like the easy way to look at it, where you don't actually have to make an effort to understand what's actually going on. Then you can just blame the victim or blame the person who stands out, like the person who doesn't want to play with the others or play nice with the others. Like then you can just point that out as the problem, like that's the problem, instead of actually looking at the rest of the group and why you don't want to play with them. There might be a reason. And so, and maybe they are all incompetent assholes, and maybe there is definitely a good reason to work alone, but your boss just never really realizes this because they don't have the time, or they don't really care enough to understand your point of view. And so I don't even know if you have that bad anxiety, but that's maybe a conclusion that your boss has made because you have chosen that you want to work alone, and so they just assume that it's because of anxiety, social anxiety or something like that. And maybe for some of you it is, but for others of you, I think it's just because you don't want to, and that you have reason not to want to. So I just feel like, yeah, with the 9 of coins reversed, I think your boss sees you as someone who I think they see you as someone who wants to work alone, but that you're not capable of doing it. Somehow your boss doesn't think it's possible to work alone, and I don't know if it's necessarily you, like personally. I don't know if it's an attack on you, or if it's just because your boss just doesn't realize that it can be done. Like maybe your boss was the type of person who got through his or her education just because they were constantly in teams, in groups where they always relied on somebody else, somebody smarter than them, to do all the work, and while they were just sitting around not doing anything. And maybe that's your boss's whole story, and maybe that's how they turned out to be a boss. Like usually people who have been the smart one in the group, like throughout their school years, usually don't want to be a boss because they don't want to get paid more for doing work that's half the work that those on the floor are doing, and they get half the pay for that. And I think most people can kind of see how that's not fair. So it's kind of the jocks and the bullies that end up with the boss positions. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm not right. I'm not. I know that I'm generalizing it very much, but yeah. But I think somehow I don't think your boss believes that you can work alone and that you can actually get all the work done on your own without a team to help you, that you can actually help yourself and get everything done yourself because you're an independent person. But somehow I think your boss is a bit skeptical that can actually be done. So and I also feel like your boss is constantly thinking of you as anxious, but I feel like the only reason why your boss sees this side of you is because you get anxious when you're around your boss, and there's something about him or her that keeps giving you the creeps, or something that makes you uncomfortable. And I don't know what it is about this person, but I think there's something icky about them, something that goes under the skin, crawls under your skin, kind of makes you feel very I don't know. So I think you get uncomfortable when you're around your boss, and I think your boss can tell that you're uncomfortable, but instead of thinking inwards, they turn it outwards, or they turn it into a you problem instead of a him or her problem. Like I think that your boss doesn't at all think about their impact on you, like how they are affecting you, how they are making you anxious when they are around. They don't think they are the problem. They wouldn't in a million years assume that they are the problem, because that's just a very foreign thought and it's not in their vocabulary. And so to be the problem, that's weird to say that it, because it's a whole sentence and it's not just a word, so it wouldn't be in the vocabulary as a sentence. But sorry. But I feel like you have a creepy boss, and I feel like this is kind of a bad, like someone who's a bit like bad news. Oh yeah, kind of makes sense. Okay, so the Chariot came through, and like it's an imagery of a tank, but the thing is that like there's a man here, and the man is standing right where the shooter thingy is, and it's kind of looking. It's a phallic symbol, so I feel like your boss is a bit of a dick, really, and I think he or she kind of thinks with their dick as well, and I think that this person might have even also like made you uncomfortable, like with sexual undertones, like kind of saying some nasty stuff. And then if you turned them down and said like, ew, you probably didn't say ew, but maybe you said something that could be understood like ew, like if you read between the lines. And I think maybe your boss kind of picked up on that, or I don't know, but I think when your boss picked up on that, if they picked up on it, I think they just turned it around, turned it on you, like you're just like the only reason why you rejected him or her, probably him with the phallic symbol, but like that the only reason is because you're so anxious and you're in like you're buried in your own shell, like you need to come out of your shell, you need to be more open and like and not so withdrawn and pulled back, and I think of course that would be serving him or her if you were more like, or that's how they see it, that maybe you would be more open to interacting with them if you weren't so anxious. But again, I think I just think your boss makes you anxious, and so yeah, and with good reason, because I think it's good to kind of withdraw from this person, because I think this person is very intentional in their behavior. They don't say, like, if they slip something out, like if they make some Freudian slips where they say a word but actually they mean something else, and then they like correct themselves right afterwards. Focus on what they say first. Don't allow them to just correct their words, because I think that like when they correct their words, they are actually falsifying the sentiment that they actually were trying to articulate before they corrected it. There is a truth in what they said the first time. So listen to when they mumble something. Like I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like your boss mumbled something, like something very very, very silently or very quietly, and then you ask them like what they said, and then they don't want to say it again. want to repeat it. And I think there's a reason why they don't want to repeat it. It's because it wasn't supposed to be said out loud in the first place, or like or they realize that right after they said it, or they mumble it because they are kind of aware that it's not appropriate to say. And I think you need to really listen to what this person says when they mumble, because there's something creepy going on, and maybe you can catch it if you actually listen very, very carefully. So but I feel like this is a terrible person. I think this person, like, this person seems like the typical, like, kind of, narcissistic, kind of psycho, a bit of a sociopath, but kind of not really, because I don't think this person is that good at pretending. It's like they think they are much better at pretending than they actually are, and that's a narcissist thinking that they can fool everybody when actually they aren't that smart, or they don't actually appear that way. But they think they are. I think they think everybody is getting fooled by them, but nobody is. And so maybe some people are, but I don't think you are. And I think you can see through this person. And I think that's also one thing that this person is a bit fearful of. Like they get or that you're the fearful one in their mind, but actually inside of them, I think they are a bit fearful of you, that you can actually see through them. And so their weapon of choice, their weapon towards you, is to tell everybody that you're anxious, that you're limiting yourself with your anxiety, that you're so fearful, and you only work alone because you have so much social anxiety that it's crippling you, and I hate to say this, because I don't want to like paint the devil on the wall, but it wouldn't surprise me if this person would fire you or try to fire you, just because they know that you can see right through them, and that they are afraid that you could expose them in some way, and that you're some kind of threat to them. If they feel that way, I think they would try to make up some bullshit, and that is maybe what they are already doing by saying that you're not performing as well as you could be if you didn't have anxiety. It's kind of like saying that it's making you somehow incompetent, that because of your anxiety, even though it doesn't seem like your anxiety has any effect on your performance at all. But I think that's something that they have against you. Like that's something that like they don't have a lot to use. Like they don't. You don't seem to have you don't seem to have a lot of flaws, and so they don't know what to use against you, or use as a reasoning for firing you, and so they will probably make something up, which I don't know if I should even tell you this. because it's of course very, very, very bad, and I'm very sorry for you to get in contact with someone like this. That it's sad that this is your boss. It doesn't really come as a surprise to me that some of you, of course, have a boss like this. When I started this reading, I knew that some of you would have bad bosses because, of course, there are a lot of bad bosses out there, and I feel like you're one of the unlucky ones, and I think instead of like crying over this, like if he or she succeeds at firing you, then remember that you're better off without having, like, even though it's maybe a good job that you have, but like having a boss like that, it must be exhausting, and I think it, like in the long run, it would probably tear down your self-esteem, because I think this person would keep trying to like pick at you and find your weaknesses and really prey on those weaknesses, just to make you feel bad, just to make you feel small, just like, and it's kind of like this person is getting off on it, like that it's kind of like some very, very twisted fetish thing where this person might actually might actually climax when they see people in tears, which is very, 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 very dark. And don't give, like, that's the thing where I don't think you would, but like, don't give this person that pleasure. Try not to show any emotions around this person, because the more emotions you show, the more they are gonna get off on it, and that's just really fucked up. So yeah, and I'm gonna shuffle some of these Gypsy cards just to get a bit more information on what your boss thinks of you. Okay, so with a foe reversed, I think somehow he or she doesn't see you as a foe, and I feel like this makes me think that he, like, that this person is underestimating you, doesn't really realize what they are up against, and you could maybe use this as your advantage, because if you did something drastic, like filing a police report on some of the harassment, if there has been some harassment, that would come as a complete shock to this person, because this person does not see it coming. This person doesn't think you have teeth, that they don't think you can bite, and so they, like, if this person has been like sexually like doing being harassing you in some sexual way or some other way. I think like this person just thinks they can get away with it, no problem, that you're just gonna accept it, that you're just gonna lie down and take it. And so one of the ways to really get through to them is to show this person that you have teeth, that you can bite, and that you can hurt them. But right now they don't think of you as an enemy to him or her. They don't think you actually hold a grudge against them. They don't think you have anything against them at all. It's like they don't realize at all that you would have a problem with them or problem with their behavior. So, and maybe they even think that you're kind of on their side in some twisted way, even after saying a lot of very weird things, strange things that were crossing the line, definitely. Maybe this person just doesn't have the social awareness where maybe they don't realize that when they say something hurtful to another person, that it's gonna make them dislike them, like it's gonna make you dislike them. And but I think maybe this person just doesn't read social cues that well, or like they don't really read the room, like they can't tell what effect they have on other people. So it's with the priest card, I think this person sees you as like that you're a bit of a prude, or that you're like the embodiment of chastity, that somehow I think they see you that way because maybe you've turned them down in some way, or maybe they made some sexual jokes and you didn't respond to it. And I think the lack of response made this person think that you were kind of a bit of a nun, or if you're a man, a priest. Then I think there's just something where they might also be thinking that you're religious, and that it might be because of your religion that you don't want to respond to their inappropriate jokes, that it's because of your religion, or something like that. But I still feel like this person is not on your side at all. I think this person would sell you out if they could, if they had the opportunity, because this person feels like you're not fun enough, or you're not, like, you're making them feel like there's something wrong with them for being inappropriate, for having sexual undertones, for doing shady things, like your whole presence makes them uncomfortable, because it makes them realize how inappropriate their behavior actually is, because it's like they end up comparing themselves to you, and they feel like it's like black and white, night and day. Like they can see how different you act, and that makes them uncomfortable. That makes them feel like there's something wrong with them, and so they don't like that feeling, so they turn it around and make it about you, like that there's something wrong with you. And yeah, and I think they just want to have a workplace where everybody just dictates what they say, and where everybody's just on board with everything that they do, and don't say anything negative about it. Don't make don't criticize them. Like they don't like to be criticized. They just want a workplace where everybody just speaks like where everybody just says what they think the boss wants to hear, and just and just kisses his or her ass all the time, and that's just what they want, really. Like they want like a whole like bunch of mini-me's. Like they just want clones of themselves. Like in a perfect world, they could just have like a workplace where everybody is just a clone of themselves, and everybody thinks like them, everybody talks like them, everybody looks like them, everybody's just like them, if that makes sense. And so you might stand out, you might be different, you might have other opinions than they have, you might have a different sense of humor, you might have a different set of values. And I think this person just doesn't like the difference between you two, and feels like you're kind of a Debbie Downer or something. I don't know. And also, like, this person is maybe even doing something illegal, like getting power. Like maybe they got power in a very shady way. Like the way that they got to become a boss was maybe something that, like, maybe this person used some qualifications that they actually don't have. Like maybe they even maybe they lied on their resume, and so maybe they were never qualified to be a boss or to have the position that they had. So maybe they actually maybe they are a bit afraid that would that is at risk to come to light, like that you could maybe make that come to light, because you seem to see right through them, and maybe they are afraid that you're gonna find out that they aren't qualified for their job, and that they kind of cheated their way to get the job, that they used some very shady shady methods to get the job. I don't know. I'm also sensing that maybe maybe they did something to the other. I don't know. There might have been other candidates, but I don't. I feel like maybe this person kind of did something to them, or talked to them, or made them back down, or something. Like, it's very shady. Like, there's something shady going on. This person is not clean. Like, this person has some dirt on them, and it's just a matter of time before it gets out in the open. And I don't know, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope you can use this information for something, that it was somewhat helpful. I know it was a very negative reading, but that, I'm just reading the energy, and this is what I got. So, but yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you want to. If you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day. And bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What does their boss think of them? I'm sensing that your boss sees you as very beautiful. Like, I don't know if your boss is a woman, because I feel like there's also a bit of like jealousy, or like feeling like maybe you outshine her or him, or that you get all the attention. Like, there's something where maybe your boss feels like you're like, everybody praises you. Like, there's something about you getting all the praise or something. So I don't know if your boss feels like you're a competitor in some way, where she or he feels like they have to compete against you, that they have to compete to get the attention. That there's also something about you having a lot of makeup on, or something. I know that's a bit off topic, but I feel like maybe your boss has maybe put you in a category because of your makeup. If you wear makeup, then I feel like your boss thinks of you as a certain fitting into a certain stereotype that your boss doesn't like, and it doesn't have anything to do with you personally. It's just that I think your boss just has like a bit of an allergy for Barbie dolls, like women or men, like Ken dolls also, like both ways, like I think your boss just doesn't like when someone is just too perfect, like has a too perfect face, like has a too perfect body. There's kind of like that somehow I feel like your boss kind of feels like you don't have the right to complain about things, like because you have it so easy, because or that's how she or he sees it, that you just have it easy. You have an easy life. You're beautiful. You get all the attention from everybody. Everybody worships you. Everybody praises you for everything. Everybody compliments you on your looks and your talents and everything. Like, it's just, you're very blessed in your boss's point of view. You're just very blessed, and you have no right to complain about the bad things that are happening in your life, because you have it easy nonetheless. Like, no matter what you're going through, you will always have it easy in your boss's point of view, because you're pretty and blonde, maybe, and naturally blonde. I don't know if you're naturally blonde, but that just came through, that maybe for some of you, your boss feels like that's just yet another thing that you've been blessed with, that you don't have to dye your hair, like you just naturally have a beautiful hair color. I don't know. It seems a bit jealous, like I hate to use that word, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jealousy here. And I think also your boss has somehow convinced herself or himself that you're very privileged, and that all the things that you have worked very hard on, like all the achievements that you have in your life that you've worked really hard on, they somehow don't matter, because in some way your boss feels like you just got that, like you just got that handed to you, that like all your grades, like if you have straight A's on your exam papers, I think somehow your boss believes that it was probably because of your tits, like, or if you are a woman. If you're a man, then it's just that you're very charming and you're a ladies' man, and that you could get that the examinator probably was a woman or something, and that you could just charm your way to the top or something. I don't know, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, is that somehow this person is not impressed by anything, because somehow they just, I don't know if this person was I don't know what this person's deal is, but of course it is a big compliment to you. Like, take it as a compliment. This person sees you as very beautiful, like very blessed, very gifted, even though of course, some of these gifts that you have, she or he believes that you were granted those gifts in like I feel like that somehow this person also feels like it's unfair that you're smart and pretty at the same time, that shouldn't be allowed, that should be like illegal to have both those things at once. Yeah. So I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. Okay, so with the 8 of Pentacles reversed, I think I think your boss sees themselves as very, very hardworking. That they have worked really hard to get to the position that they have, that they have climbed up the ladder, that it was really hard for them, and that like it was so much harder than anybody else. And so they see you as someone who didn't have to work hard, that you were just handed everything, that your journey was very different from their journey, in the way that where you could somehow draw on certain privileges. Maybe your boss even feels like some of your achievements were granted to you through nepotism, or that you got your job through nepotism, that your parents somehow gave you the job or made sure that you got the job, or that it's your family name that kind of course she's the boss, so she or he is the boss, so I guess I would think she had something to do with the recruitment process, so I wouldn't like, but I feel like maybe this person feels like you got the job because of your family name, or because of your connections, because you knew somebody who knew somebody, and that was how you got your foot in, and somehow she or he feels like that's very unfair, because she or he didn't have that when they started in the business. They didn't have anybody to to help them with anything. Like there's just something like that. It's very boo-hoo. Like there's like I think your boss really wants people to acknowledge how hard it was for them growing up, and in their life, like in general, how hard it was to be maybe to be a minority. I don't know if your boss is a minority, but it's like it's just everything was just 10 times harder for them. But I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. So with the 4 of Wands, I think your boss sees you as someone who comes from a very safe family, very good family, everything just very perfect, that you come from a perfect family. Maybe you also have a perfect family. Like if you have a family, like maybe you have a husband, and that seems like very perfect, like a perfect union between two people, and like or so, I don't know why, but like somehow like that's so beautiful, like that's so nice for you to have a great and loving and caring family, but somehow like your boss is kind of gagging over it, and kind of feels like it's too sweet, too perfect, like I don't know. I'm sensing that for some of you, I know this is very specific for some of you, I know it doesn't resonate with all of you, but I feel like for some of you, your boss is kind of stalking you on Instagram and just looking through all the perfect pictures, and just looking at, like if you have children, I think your boss is kind of rolling her or his eyes at how perfect your children are, how perfect everything is, like everything's just like everything is on point. Nothing is like, there's no clutter anywhere. There's no like it just doesn't seem human or something. Like I don't know, but that's how like that's very specific for some of you, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know if your boss is kind of exaggerating this. I think it, but I think it comes from a place where, like, I think you have to remember that your boss is a very petty person, and like very very bitter and sad in a way. And of course, if this person has recently gone through a divorce or something, then then that would kind of justify, like kind of justify that that this person can't really be happy on your behalf, like happy about seeing you happy with your family, and like that somehow that gets under somehow that gets under his or her skin, gets on their nerve in a way, because they had that and lost it or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think and maybe like I'm also like sensing that for some of you, like if this person just recently went through a divorce, maybe like if your boss is the opposite sex than you, then I think maybe they always thought they had a shot with you or something, or before you got married, or like I don't know if this is like, if you've known this person for so long, I don't know, but I feel like there is maybe something where they feel like they don't have a shot with you, or that they would kind of want to be in that perfect bubble, but they are not part of that perfect bubble because they are on the outside looking in. And so maybe they want to be, but they don't want to, of course, break up what you have. So there's that aspect, and so they just are just being very bitter and very petty, and making fun of how fortunate you are and how lucky you are, and every time something nice happens in your life, this person just rolls their eyes at it and like, and mumbles something like that it's just typical that you get all the fortune, and that there's no fortune left for everybody else, like that you're taking all the fortune, something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's very jealous, very petty, and very bitter. But this person sees you as very beautiful, though, and very loving and caring, from what they can see on the pictures. I don't know. Also very innocent, that you have something innocent about you that also kind of gets on their nerve, that you're not tainted like everybody else. Like, you've had a life, or maybe you haven't had such an easy life, but somehow your boss thinks you've had this easy life, this very good upbringing, and it has made you into this very innocent person who doesn't believe in nastiness or believe in evil. I think there's something about you not believing in evil, that evil exists, that you might be a bit naive when it comes to people just being evil, just to hurt you, just to make you suffer. Like, that there are people like that out in the world, but you resist to acknowledge that, because you don't want those low vibrational thoughts to get in your system. And I think, or something like that, I don't know the particular phrasing, but that something like that, I don't know. But I think your boss feels like they can't really be mad at you, or they can't be like, they can't make fun of you. That's the thing. Like, they can't make fun of you for being so perfect and so sort of Barbie doll. Like, I don't know what but I think your boss usually picks on especially women who look like Barbie dolls. That's something that's coming through, and but I think she or he feels like they can't do that towards you because you're so nice, you're so innocent, you're so sweet and kind, and it just makes them feel bad about themselves when they have these petty thoughts about how easy you have it, and how you've been like protected by from everything throughout your life, and that you've never encountered anything remotely like I don't know what street, like that you're not street, somehow that's, I don't know, like what that's about, but like, maybe that you're more book smart than street smart or something like that, and that your boss feels like maybe it's like it makes you a bit innocent, that you don't know what's out there, you don't know that you're in danger sometimes, like that you don't even realize it. You just sit in, you just step into like a stranger's car just because they offer you a ride, and you don't even think about the fact that you could easily get abducted. But I think there's something like that where I think your boss feels like you're very innocent, and it's very good. Like I think your boss would wish that they had that innocence themselves. Like they would wish that life hadn't made them so rough and so untrusting of others. But that's just how things ended up for them, and I think they are very much like wallowing in their own grief, and really kind of feeling themselves also like within that grief, like feeling a bit better than everybody else just because they've been through a lot, and somehow they believe that like through this great amount of pressure they have turned out as a diamond, and everybody else is kind of a diamond in the rough because they haven't tried all the things that like all the bad things that, or done all the bad things, or been a part of all the bad things that your boss has been a part of. And I don't know, I'm gonna shuffle some of these Gypsy cards to get a bit more information on how your boss sees you, group number 3. Okay, with the child reversed, I think okay, so there's child reversed, and I think it kind of tells me that your boss might have seen you as more of a child in the beginning, or more childish, like when you started working for her or him. I think your boss kind of saw you as a bit innocent, a bit pure, or very pure, and I think maybe that has changed a bit, like in the later years, or like in the later time. Like I don't know how long you've worked for this person, but I think recently something might have changed, and this person has realized that maybe you don't have it so easy at all. Maybe you're not really this child inside a cradle. Isn't it called a cradle? Cradle? I'm not sure. But maybe you're not just this protected child that they thought you were. So maybe there's also something about, like maybe you have shared something with your boss recently that made your boss kind of look at you in a different way, and realize that you actually have certain obstacles that you have had to overcome in your life, and that it hasn't just been a dance on roses, that it has actually also been tough for you. So I think that came as a bit of a surprise to her or him. With the faithfulness card, I think your boss sees you as very faithful, very trustworthy, very loyal. I think your boss sees you as a very like in all reality, actuality, like if she or he had to look at your performance, they wouldn't be able to put a finger on anything. Like you're a very good worker, so you're very loyal and faithful, trustworthy. Like you're like a dog, like not a dog, but like you're very task oriented. You do as you're told at the workplace. You're very motivated, and you want to get the job done, and so I think your boss knows that you're a good worker, even though they don't see you as this, like maybe they don't see you as just as hardworking as they were when they were the same age as you or something like that. I don't know. I don't think there's that much of an age gap though, but I don't know. But there's something about I feel like your boss knows. Your boss knows that you are a hard worker. It's more their own mental barrier, where they have to overcome the fact that they put you in this stereotype, and they try to make you fit into this stereotype of the person. If you're a woman, then like if you wear makeup, then like that you are automatically a part of a group of women in your boss's mind, and these women don't work hard, and so there's just this assumption that of course you don't work hard because you don't want to crack your nails or something like that, and it's just a big stereotype. But I think your boss knows that you're not like that. You you have a good track record, like you have everything, like your boss has the proof. Like they can see your performance, that you're performing very good, and you're doing everything you should be doing, and you're performing maybe even better than the other than your coworkers. And so there's that aspect that it seems like your boss doesn't really want to admit that they made up that they misjudged you in the beginning. Maybe your boss could be a bit married to their own thoughts, to their own vision, or their own their own prejudice in a way where they believe they are right. They believe that when they judge someone prematurely, which they do a lot, they put people in boxes before they even start talking to them, and then they try very hard to make them fit in the box that they put them in right at the beginning. And so I think your boss put you in a box right at the beginning, and then afterwards they just kept pushing you into that box because they wanted you to fit in it, because they didn't want to admit to themselves that they made a mistake, that they misjudged you, and that they were generalizing and following a stereotype that really didn't do you any justice. So I think there's that point where but I think now they are realizing that there's much more to you, that there's more underneath the surface. They just assumed in the beginning that you didn't have a personality because they believed that everyone that's so pretty can't have a personality too, that's just not how it works. And I think they are realizing now that you actually have a personality, and that you are smart, and that you are layered, and that you have also had some obstacles in your life that you had to overcome, and that it hasn't just been easy for you, even though you're pretty, and maybe you even weren't that pretty as a child or as a teenager. And so maybe this belief that your boss has, that you've always just been able to use your looks to get what you want or something like that, that might not be the case at all. And but yeah, but I think she or he is realizing this, slowly but surely. This person is starting to recognize that there is more to you than they assumed in the beginning. So, but yeah. But that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. Group number 4. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? What does their boss think of them? What does group number 4's boss think of them? Okay, so I'm sensing that your boss really likes you, sees you as someone who has a great personality, popular. I'm sensing that your boss sees you as popular, maybe at work, like with the other colleagues, that you're very well liked, that people generally like you, that there's no drama with you, that you're very you're very good at playing nice with others. Like you get along very well with others, you don't cause any tension. You don't start any unnecessary fights. And I think you're also very good at stopping fights before they happen, like when other people seem to be kind of bickering at each other. You're very good at stepping up and making everybody like get along, fixing the problems. That you're a problem fixer, that you're a problem solver. You're maybe like, I feel like your boss maybe feels like sometimes you're kind of kissing their ass in a very subtle way, where it's not very obvious. It's not like, but I think your boss might feel like you're very, very nice to her or him. You're very nice to your boss, and you might treat your boss a bit, or you might show your boss an overly exaggerated kindness sometimes, where you're very overbearing and you accept their like, it seems like you accept their behavior even when they are acting a bit incompetently. It's like you just tell them that it's okay, like, don't worry about it. It like, and maybe your boss kind of feels like it wouldn't hurt for you to maybe sometimes get mad and just tell what you think. Like, tell your boss exactly how you feel about what's going on, and not sugarcoating it, and just being open and honest about it. Because I feel like your boss feels like it's very hard to read you, because they don't really know when you're getting upset, because you don't show it. You're very polite and downplayed, and like, you don't start any drama, you don't start any conflicts, you don't really want to. You just want to have everybody just be friends with each other, and like, maybe your boss feels like you're a bit of a pushover sometimes, where it would just be nice if you reacted, because it's like, maybe I don't know if your boss feels like you need to react towards her or him, like towards your boss, or if your boss wants you to react more towards your co-workers, because I don't know if there's some times where you're a bit of a pushover towards your co-workers, where you don't react to their bullshit, and you just let it slide, and you don't make a big fuss about it. You just let them be whatever they want to be, like, or whoever, like, if they want to I don't know. It's just, I'm just sensing that your boss wants you to react more and speak your mind, speak up, and especially when it's something that's affecting you, like if you stay late at work because some people aren't doing their job. Like if people aren't helping you, or if people are just being lazy at work and not actually doing anything, and then you end up having to do double the work because you have to do your job and the job that the other co-workers are neglecting to do, and then you end up with like overtime, like working overtime. And I think your boss wants you to stop being the nice one who just accepts the bad behavior that happens around you. That you need to be more like more outspoken, dare to start some drama, because sometimes drama needs to be started, because if everybody just stays nice to each other and are just being like, if everybody is just fixated on remaining the same, like then there's of course no change. I'm just sensing that your boss feels like you could actually be the one changing the status quo, like it actually stirring up the pot and actually maybe making a difference in the workplace if you actually spoke up, because you're very popular and you could actually use that as an advantage, because you have a good grasp on people. People respect you. People look up to you. People actually put you in high regards. And so there's really no reason for you to walk on eggshells, because it's not like anybody would turn on you if you spoke your mind. People would actually just listen to you, because you actually have the popularity to actually change something. I feel like maybe your boss feels like they can't change what's going on because they don't have the popularity as you do. And so maybe your boss feels like you're more popular, you're someone who the others actually listen to. And so it would be so much more meaningful if it came from you. If you told the others that you don't like it when they slack at work and you have to do their work for them, that like, I think it would be more strong and powerful if it came from you, or that's how your boss sees it, that it would be more powerful coming from you than coming from your boss, because I think your boss would, I don't know if that's actually true. I think it would be powerful if it came from your boss too. But I think this is just your boss trying to push the task on you so that they don't have to do it. I feel like it seems like I feel like it's a bad excuse just to say that, oh, I feel like your boss is saying that they are so unpopular, nobody listens to them, then so you do it, you should do it because you're so popular, everybody likes you, and it kind of makes me feel like it's just a task that they don't like to do, and so it's just easier to to smear like the the poop over on you. So with the Judgment, I feel like you're I feel like your boss sees you as Judgment, like as the like you're not Judgment, but like but in the biblical sense, like the Judgment Day, when like that you somehow have the ancienity, or the somehow that you somehow have something that some kind of power over your coworkers, that you could set the rules. You could like everybody would listen to you if you came out and said, this is not right, this is how it should be, this is how it currently is, and currently it's not working in the right way, and this is bad, it should be good, and this is how we make it good again. This is how we create a good dynamic that works for everyone. Right now it just works for some, and it's not a good system right now. Like the system is broken because it's just favoring a few people, and these few people, like, they are just taking everything away from everybody else and making it all about them, and taking all the good the good hours. Like I don't know if you work in some kind of institution where there's night shifts and day shifts, but I feel like there might be some selfish people who are hawking all the day shifts, so that there's only night shifts left for everybody else, and so everybody else just has to fight for all these bad shifts that aren't really good for anything, and then there's just a few people, 2 people or 3 people, who are just only getting all the good shifts, and not sharing the bad shifts with everybody else. Like that somehow, like if the system was different, if it was equal or close to equal, then it would be more fair. And so I think your boss would really want that, that there was more equality in the shifts, so people could have like both day shifts and night shifts, or weekend shifts, and like that everybody could sometimes bite the bad apple, and that it could be like a thing where everybody does it, and whereas right now it seems like some people are just not biting the bad apple at all, and they just get away with just getting all the good stuff and not participating in taking the burden of the people who only get the bad shifts, only get night shifts and weekend shifts, and like that's just not fair. And I think your boss sees you as one of those one of the martyrs who end up only taking the weekend shifts and the night shifts and never actually get any day shifts, and that's not fair, and that you shouldn't just lie down flat on the floor and just take this from your coworkers, especially when you're so popular. and so well liked. And of course, maybe the reason why you're so well liked is because you do the things that people like, because people are selfish. And so when a selfish person meets someone who's unselfish, they like that person because that means they can take some more from them and get away with it. So of course that's one thing. So maybe that is one of the reasons why you are, or what I feel like it's not. I think your colleagues also just really like you for who you are, and that's also the thing that I think your boss can tell, that you would be well liked even if you came out with an unpopular opinion and pointed out that the system is broken and that something needs to be fixed. Somehow I feel like your boss is not really taking responsibility of why it's so broken, because of course it should be the boss who should who should make sure that the system is not broken. So I feel like it's her or his responsibility, and it's like this person is not really owning up to their responsibility. But still, I think this person trusts you so much that they somehow believe that you could fix it, so they don't have to, and that's a lot of burden to put on your shoulders. But it's I don't know. I feel like your boss is kind of passive about all of this, and I feel like your boss is just waiting for you to get so tired of how this all is, like that you're gonna react. And then like when you react, I feel like your boss wants to like take your side if you react. But until then, it's like your boss is just passive and not really actively doing anything about it. It's just like they are just watching it just fall even more apart. Like I feel like your boss is just waiting for someone to speak up. And I don't know. With a pint of beer, which is Ace of Wands, I feel like your boss sees you as a fresh breath of air, or a breath of fresh air. I never know which one is the correct one, but I think I think your boss really sees you as someone who's very charismatic, usually very outspoken, and I think your boss is a bit puzzled by the fact that you're so outspoken usually, but when it comes to speaking up for yourself, then you're just not doing it. Like you're just sitting there or lying down flat on the floor and taking it. And I don't know if that's a bit of an over exaggeration, but I think your boss feels like it's a bit weird why you're not fighting for yourself when you usually fight for other people. Like it seems like you don't have a hard time fighting for others. You don't have difficulties speaking your mind if it's about somebody else. Like if you're fighting for someone. But when you're fighting for yourself, you get very silent and quiet about it. And I think your boss really wants you to just start fighting more for yourself and not sacrificing yourself for the greater good of the workplace. That I don't know, but I think I see that your boss really sees you as very charismatic, very funny, very that you have a very good sense of humor, and that you can make the others laugh, like the other colleagues laugh, that you're cracking jokes. And I feel like your boss has heard some of your jokes from other people, like from your colleagues or your clients or the people that you work with every day. Like they seem to report back to your boss like some of the hilarious jokes that you have made during the day, and so it seems like it comes back to her. And I think I hate that I keep saying her when this could easily be a man too. So so take what resonates. And if your boss is a man, just change it in your mind. Like every time I say her, then just change it to him. But yeah. With the Seven of Wands, I think your boss thinks of you as on top of this, like that you're on top. You're in a very favorable position at work. You're someone who is very well liked by everyone, which is very rare because you work at a place where there are very different people working there, and very different age groups, very different, like I think you work with some very young people and very old people, and different, very different backgrounds, just very different people. And somehow you're friends with all of them, that you're very well liked by all of them. You seem to always find some common denominator with all of them, a common interest, common topic that you talk to them about, like common hobbies, like that, things that you have in common with anyone, like everyone at the workplace. Like you seem to be able to make internal jokes with anyone, like that you seem to just be able to talk to anyone and make them feel like you're their best friend. Like that it's like everybody feels a strong connection with you. Everybody at the workplace have the same feeling that they know you, and that you know them on a deeper level, that you have a soul connection with them. Like everybody feels this way, that they have a special connection with you. And I think your boss can really tell this because they hear it from directly from them when they talk to them, that this is something they all report back to her or him, that you have a special connection with each and every one of your co-workers, and that's very special. And so yeah, I think your boss sees you as a social butterfly, someone who just gets along with anyone, someone who has a tremendous amount of social intelligence, that you're very good at judging a character. You're very good at like seeing directly through someone and knowing exactly what to talk to someone about. Like you always know exactly what to say. You know what to say to like lighten the mood. You know what to say to make someone comfortable with you, to make someone trust you. Like you always have the right approach when you speak to someone. Like you know how to make that person feel seen and feel comfortable and feel trusting of you. Like I think and I think your boss really sees you as someone who also has a lot of emotional intelligence. You're very good at at speaking with respect for the other person's feelings. Like you're very good at respecting other people's feelings, respecting other people's boundaries too. You're very good at sensing what not to say, and you're very good at reading social cues. And I think your boss just really admires you, that you're always very tactful, you're always very respectful, and you know, you can really tell people's boundaries, people's like what topics not to talk about, what words not to use when you describe something or someone, or like you know exactly what to say, and you never miss. You never say something that that ends up hurting someone or getting misunderstood or something like that. It's like you're a social ninja. Like you're very good at just riding under the radar, flying under the radar, never saying anything that puts you in an awkward position, or makes people distrust you, or have negative connotations when it, like there's just something, like you're just very good at saying the right thing at the right time and reading the room, and I think your boss just sees you as an asset, that you can do something that not a lot of people can do, because you are so socially and emotionally intelligent, that you have an advantage over your co-workers as well, because some of your co-workers might not be the most socially intelligent people. Some of them might not be able to read social cues as well as you can, and so you have an advantage over them, and you shouldn't be like, I feel like I'm also getting the message that you should stop worrying. And this is a message coming from spirit. It's not coming from your, like, it's not the thoughts of your boss necessarily. It's more reassurance coming from spirit directly, that you should stop worrying that you're getting fired, or that you're not good enough at your job, or that, like, I think you worry too much, and you should recognize that you're probably the most, like, you're likely very certainly the most liked person at your workplace. There is not anyone who is more well liked by everyone as you. Like, you're very popular, very well liked, at your workplace, and it would be devastating for everyone at the workplace if you weren't there. Like, you're the glue that's tying it all together. You have a very important role at your workplace, and nobody wants to see you go. Not a single person at your workplace wants to see you go. So don't be worried about your position at work, or like that something is shaky, or like that you're not certain you're doing a good enough job. You are very good at your job, and you're very well liked at your workplace, and so you don't have anything to worry about. So yeah, and you can make demands, because you're in a favorable position where your job is not on the line here. Like, you shouldn't be worried about losing your job, because that's not going to happen. So you can actually make demands because you are in a favorable position. So there's no reason to be a martyr and just get all the bad shifts, and just like always getting the bad jobs just because some people just run away with all the good jobs, like all the good tasks, all the good things. Like, don't be afraid of speaking up and saying, like, I want this task, or I want the day shift instead of the night shift, because you can do it, because your job is not at stake here. You're in a very favorable position. So, and I think it would even be, I think you would thrive more at your work if you started actually demanding what you know in your heart you deserve. You deserve to also you deserve the good, as like, and as much as anyone else. Like, you deserve to have a voice and have a say in some of the planning and some of the organization, and so don't rob yourself from that, because there would, like, it wouldn't hurt to sometimes be selfish and say, like, say that you want something, even though somebody else might want it too. But then you have to have, like, some kind of competition about it. Like, then there must be some. Then you just both have to fight for it, and you shouldn't just lie down on the ground and, like, just accept defeat, because you can just as easily compete as that person. So yeah, and even more, like, so you're probably gonna get heard more. Like, your voice is gonna get heard. So yeah, but that's all I have for you. Group number 4, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye.